All right, now let's analyze the top stories with iBrandTV senior correspondent Frank Omalape. Thank you for joining us, Frank.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on.
Good to have you on the show. Well, let's begin with the story coming from the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, threatening to withdraw their service over incessant increment on the price of premium motor spirit in the eastern part of the country. And they are saying that the private depots are the ones causing the hike in price. We know that this is not just affecting the eastern part of the country, but what do you see in the offing with this impending strike?
Well, I think this is going to make things pretty difficult, especially commuting, along that part of the country, the region, because as we all know, transporting these commodities from the southwest.
Okay, I think we lost connection with Frank, but he was talking about the transportation issues that this would lead to, especially looking at the fact that IPMAN is now threatening to embark on an industrial action, looking at all of these issues. And we know that even right here in the southwest, there is a challenge with the fuel hike, which is leading to queues in different filling stations. But we'll take a break now. When we come back, the conversation continues. Please stay with us. All right, straight to it. iBrandTV's senior correspondent Frank Omalape is still with us, and he's already talking about the issue of IPMAN threatening to withdraw their services over incessant increment on the price of PMS. Frank, go ahead with your thoughts, please.
Yes, I was trying to say that back and forth between the marketers and private depot owners, and that's because the marketers accuse the private owners of these depots that they hike the price. And the feedback we keep getting is how much was supposed to be the official price, how much was this supposed to, the depot owners are supposed to, sell to marketers. That's the question. So, but there will be some conflicting figures about the prices, how much they are supposed to buy from, depot owners. And that, of course, what we're supposed to be investigating. And we need to investigate how much are they supposed to be giving, how much is the price they are selling. So that's the question. And we've not been able to reconcile these price differentials. And that's the bone of contention here. So we need the NNPC or the authority to come out and say, look, this is how much they are supposed to give it to the Association of Marketers, and that has not been established. Until that is established, I think we'll keep having these back and forth.
Well, who is supposed to establish that? They are saying that they are buying it at 185 naira per litre, and that after adding other expenses, the price would increase to 200 naira per litre. And they are also saying that even at that 200 naira per litre, their businesses cannot thrive. So who is to blame? Who is supposed to regulate the price? Who is supposed to give a benchmark for the price?
Well, the benchmark really is supposed to be the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission. They are supposed to come up with, to ensure that anyone who is playing in this sector plays according to the rule. They are supposed to be the one regulating the prices. They are supposed to be supervising, the excesses from the owners of this depot. And I believe that they are doing their job. It's just that sometimes you have this relationship, or the lack of oversight function of some of these regulatory authorities. And that is, we always, in Nigeria, we always talk about the fact that someone is not doing something right. Again, there are regulatory agencies that should checkmate the activities of the stakeholders. But some of them are not coming up. They've been lagging behind in the way they go about these duties. But we need to start interrogating and asking Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission what exactly is going on in the southeast. Because between we really do not have a lot of tank farms in the Southeast? That is another question we should be asking. That the NNPC, what are you doing about establishing more tank farms or therefore across the eastern states?
Which is, sorry to button, which is one of the demands they are making. That's one of the demands they're making. They're saying that they want the federal government to revive all NNPC depots within the eastern zone to help them get this product at a regulated price.
Yes, well, that is true then. Again, but you need to also begin to ask questions. Yes, these depots, yes, we have them, not too many depots in the Southeast, but the question is, what is supposed to be the right price that these depots are supposed to also sell to the marketers? That is the bone of contention. I think we have a lot of issues with corruption here. So, and that is the exact, I mean, that is the real issue that we need to deal with. Although that is dealt with, and then we cannot continue this way. We cannot really address the problem head on, except that is being interrogated, that is being sanctioned, whosoever is involved, as many of them that are involved in these shady deals, I mean, are supposed to be brought to book as well.
All right.
So we ask the Nigerian Petroleum Regulatory Commission. We also ask the NNPC, who is also a stakeholder in this particular, issue, to start asking questions. And those relevant authorities also should be brought into the pictures as well.
All right, let's move on quickly to the next story, Frank. The federal government has now announced that the estimated performance of Nigeria's domestic gas supply obligation rose by 14% to 64.8% in 2021, and that was against the 50.6% that was achieved in 2020. What would you attribute this increase to?
Well, I think when you look at the gas supply, I think I will attribute the increase to the fact that the demand has gone up despite the prices of LPG in the local market, and of course the demand has gone up. So if you want to look at compared to the figure you have in 2020, I would say one, the demand has increased, and also see that if you look at what the chief executive of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority is saying, that the 2023 domestic gas demand, will require some element of, strategies that has to be in line with the master plan. Okay, so we know we have the master plan, gas master plan, which of course nothing has been done about it. If you remember, not quite long, just not too long ago, we saw the vice president visited, the U.S. talking about master plan, energy master plan. All of these are all in the party. Secondly, I would also see that we have more investors as well in the Nigerian sector at the moment. So if you put all of this together, no doubt, of course, performance has to go up, demand has to go up, and that's why supply has to go up.
Apparently a good sign for the Nigeria's oil and gas sector. But let's move on now. The OPEC is talking about increasing its outlook for global oil demand in the medium and longer term. The group said in its 2022 World Oil Outlook released on Monday, and they are saying that global demand will increase to 103 million barrels per day next year, an increase of 2.7 million barrels per day from 2022, and an increase of 1.4 million barrels per day from what the group predicted for 2023 last year. Recently, OPEC cut down its production quota by 2 million barrels per day. How do you reconcile that with this prediction?
When there is a cut down in the output of production, the prices go up, right? And so simply that means that once the prices go up, of course, you remember that demand will also go up as well, because you don't have too many supply globally. You don't have too many supply in the system, and so it's just a way to create a kind of to regulate the industry such that you don't have too much blood in the system. That way, the prices can moderate a little bit. But with this outlook, it looks like different groups are also going to come together to review it, to see how they can cut it down further. So it means that, yes, that's what this means. This outlook means that we will expect OPEC to cut down their supply, maybe in the next 1 or 2 months again. So if that happens, demand will also go up. Because once you have too much of these products in the system, the price will crash, because you won't have much demand again. But once the demand,
but how is there an increase?
Few supply in the market, of course, the demand will go up. Then that's one factor. The second factor is the Ukraine and, of course, the Russian war. Remember that Russia is a major supplier of this commodity as well. And so anyone who has to buy will have to look in the way of Russia. And remember that even though some countries have come together to sanction, yes, they just couldn't do without looking the way of Russia. And again, I will foresee that, yes, a lot of people, a lot of countries, no doubt, will have to go the way of oil demand, because they need it. They need its products. They need its products. In fact, recently we saw that there was short supply and there was crisis in the country. So these people need it, and so the demand is going to go up. And so if the demand is going to go up, we expect that the outlook in supply will also go up as well.
But how is there an increase in demand when countries are now migrating from fossil fuel to renewable energy?
Well, that's a different, conversation entirely. Remember that.
All right, Frank, let's put a pause to it here. We'll come back to continue the conversation. We'll be right back.